Okay. Good morning. We are done. My husband and I, 20 years. Well, almost. Not official, but we took our opportunity to go on a trip. And yeah, hopefully the sound is working. I don't know if it is, but we're going to proceed as if we knew what we were doing, because that's kind of how we roll. All right, let me get ready here and get this turned on. Hey, we're going to talk today about continue on with our Sassy 7. Last time we talked about being rested and getting the proper rest. And that is a great conversation simply because most of the time we're not getting enough of that kind of direction in our lives. We are going to bed too late. We're getting up too early. We're not getting the proper type of rest. We're not getting, um, the good sleep. Maybe we have bad habits on our way to bed. And so that is a great one to start with. Um, if you can't start all seven, which most people can't, because if you don't have any of them already in place, then you've got to start somewhere. And so, getting that nighttime routine going so that you have rest, that you can rest, and then being able to turn off your mind. Maybe you do a meditation or some deep breathing or something like that to help yourself get into that rest mode, um, and be able to relax. Because it can be really hard, especially if you've got a lot of stressful things going on in your life. And, I'm speaking mostly to mothers because you have so many things going on. You've got the responsibility of yourself, your own health, your own body, and then any children that you have, you're in charge of their bodies. Like, think about it from every angle. Like, you've created their bodies, and now you're in charge of making sure they stay alive and get healthy. You're also in charge of their minds. You're also in charge of, I mean, you are just like doing everything for these little people to turn them into contributing citizens and do the work that is needed for a healthy society. So, it's work. So anyway, rest, right? If you can't do everything, do that. Just rest, go to bed. But not just go to bed, but like deliberately rest. Like allow yourself to let go of the things that are weighing on your mind and bothering you. And just relax and let them go and trust that either they will resolve themselves when you're not so tired and it won't be as big of a deal, or more solutions are coming your way, or you can just basically turn it over to God. And if you want to worry about it again tomorrow, you can pick it back up. But likely when you have those periods of rest, when you allow your mind to be softer in the sense of like not rigidly looking for a solution, I can't go to bed until I solve this. When you let that happen, um, changing your activity or going to bed or taking a bath or whatever, oftentimes the solution you're looking for will come and light on you like a butterfly, right? Like you don't catch butterflies by chasing them. You catch them when they catch you, basically. So, okay. So that was just like a recap of rest. So let's talk about nourished because being nourished, like this is another thing that I think, especially as women, we get this completely wrong. And we are doing ourselves a really big disservice. I remember when my kids were little, frequently I would eat whatever was left over on their plates and that was pretty much lunch. So I did try to at least have healthy choices so that whatever was left on their plates was not Cheetos and Oreos or anything like that. But I'm not going to say that never happened because it definitely did. But it was still not it was still not me nourishing myself. And I know you know because everybody talks about it, like putting your own oxygen mask on first is such an important part of being able to do a good job for everyone else. But it is really, really hard to actually do that. And so that's why with Sassy Habits, we really have focused on a couple of key components. And that is the first one is um, your supplements. Now, when I first started taking the supplements that I take, I took them for a month. I'd heard about them. Everybody was talking about them. I was like, okay, I'm going to give them a try. So I did. And um, I didn't really notice a ton, but I was very distracted. Remember, I had 8 kids, blended family, lots of chaos, lots of emotions, lots of cooking, laundry, like all the things, right? And so I didn't really notice a lot. But what I did notice is that the next month I felt, guilty for spending money on myself when there were so many things that were needed in the family. And so I did not reorder. Within a couple of weeks, I remembered how much pain I was in. I had a lot of joint pain and just basic discomfort I didn't realize that I was living with, which had gradually gone away over the course of the month when I had taken the supplements. The other thing that happened was that my husband noticed something and he said to me, "Hey, you know those vitamins you were taking?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he says, "Can you stay on them? We like you better." Well, that was the first I realized that my mood was very much affected by the nourishment that I was receiving from those micronutrients and macronutrients. Well, it was the micronutrients because the vitamins and minerals. The macronutrients are your actual food, which we'll talk about next. So that's the first place, right? Is like start taking your supplements. It's not a long period of time. The ones that I take, you can ask me about them in the comments, and they take like 2 minutes to put together. It's a drink. It tastes good. It moves really quickly, so you can just like quickly take care of your body, and it lasts in your system. They've actually tested it, and it lasts in your system for um, the tests that they did still had lots of availability after 8 hours. And that was the end of the test. And generally speaking, they thought that would be like way overkill because most supplements are out of your body within 2 hours. Like they just flush through. So whatever your body couldn't use immediately, it just passes on through. Well, these ones don't do that. They stick around. They continue circulating in the bloodstream, ready for the cells when they need it for a full 8 hours. So we actually listened to a woman. She's very, very busy. She has 9 children. She has a full career. She's raising teenagers and in perimenopause. I don't know if she has grandchildren yet, but she's kind of at that very, very busy 40 something age range. And so she actually takes the vitamins twice a day. And I do that sometimes when I have like really, really busy days or when I have extra pain. So, I'm dealing with a disc issue. And so, oh, which I have some updates on that as well, which is kind of fun. But anyway, I am nourished. So that's the first thing. It's just like take your vitamins, take your supplements, give your body the best chance of the kind of support that you need in order um, to get things going. Oh, look, my mom's here. I can't hit the admit. There we go. Hey, good morning. Good morning. Can you hear me? All right. Well, I'm glad you're here. I can't hear you, but I can't really troubleshoot it right now because my feet are, wiggling. Anyway, okay, so I am nourished. Take your supplements. Make sure that you're getting them into your body and that you are making them available um, to your cells so that you can move on with things. All right. So the next part is the macronutrients, right? So let's talk about macronutrients. There are so many schools of thought on this. And the biggest school of thought that I've heard over my entire lifetime is that it's calories in, calories out. If you weigh too much, it's because you eat too much. But my experience and my um, observations have that has not been true. Like you can tamp down your metabolism to the point where you're not eating hardly any calories and um, still gain weight or at least not lose. And it can be so frustrating and it's so like heartbreaking. You're already busy, you're already got tons of stuff going on. And now you're just like, also like, what's wrong with me? Well, um, that's where you kind of have to look into what is needed for yourself. And for me, I found that if I eat too low of calories, I'll lose for a little while, but then I start having a lot of other trouble. And if I start eating again at any level, and I grew up on a farm, I'm a hungry girl, then then I start gaining like immediately and quickly. And it like just like it's like my body's been in starvation mode and now it wants to just put it all on and pack it all away. So what I found is that if I up my calories to a reasonable amount, 2000 calories a day, then immediately my body relaxes and will drop a few pounds. And so I'm kind of playing around with the reverse dieting, if you've ever heard of that, which is basically where you get your calories up high enough that your body is working with all those calories, and then you do a deficit that's down to like 1800 or 1700 or something like that, and it's an actual deficit and it helps your body to be able to release it. So anyway, we'll be playing around with that a little bit more. The things that we do know are that the stuff we learned from Casey Means, which is FAPOP. FAPOP, FAPOP. We gave it that acronym so we could remember it. So fiber, antioxidants, protein, omega 3s, and probiotics. And you're looking for those every time you eat. And so you want to make sure that your body is getting those and also eat like real food. So that's the I am nourished piece as much as we know about it at this point. And if you found answers as far as eating real food, eating real amounts of nutrition that actually fuel your body, I'd love to hear anything that you have to add to that in the comments. So thanks for joining me this morning and have a great day. See you tomorrow.